Alright, Winnipeg, we're here on Friday, October 3rd. It is opening night of year number 8. Since the last video, I went ahead and I simmed through the rest of the off-season and the preseason, so I will take you through what happened. But first, let's check the emails. A lot of trades and some other important things happened. Our training camp report for the preseason. Here are the prospects. You can look at those. And the NHL players, a lot of young players there. You can see our season tickets were 11,000. Our luxury boxes were back up to 44 from 43 last year. And here's a look at the season tickets around the NHL. And we did trade for E.J. Emery, who hopefully is going to be our future defensive defenseman as we build him up. We offer sheeted him, and the Colorado Avalanche did not match, so he was signed. His contract is 2 years at .980, just under $1 million. He is 25 years old. Hopefully he can get some growth. So we're going to delete all those. And I don't know if this was in the last video, but Trevor Zegras was our big signing. 7 years at $9.7 million. 30 years old. He is on the left wing, second line. These are his stats overall. So hopefully he was our replacement for Chaz Lucius. If you look at the lines, Johnston went over to the right wing and Trevor Zegras is there on the left wing. So with that, let's go ahead and look at what happened in September. Our first game was a 3-1 loss against Edmonton, 3-2 win against Colorado, 4-0 win against the Kings, 3-2 loss against Nashville, 4-1 win against Colorado, and a 6-4 win against Ottawa. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2-0 in the preseason. If you look at our team, this is how it is. We claimed Nicholas Addy off waivers. We claimed Ivan Trijikov off waivers, and we signed Emery. So those are our scratch players. No one is injured, no one else on waivers. If you look at our goalies, Augustin is going to be the backup goalie. His mental ratings are better, and if you look at his stats, where is it? Career stats here for the preseason this year, he did fantastic. He was 3-0-0 with 1 shutout, a .952 save percentage, and a .133 goals against average in his 3 games. So we're going to go with him as our starter, but Pavlinsky is the backup. And if you look at the training, Pavlinsky is the one that we are going to train for the future. So the mental ratings and the goalie. And with that, we will go ahead and sim to our first game on October 8th. It is Wednesday, October 8th, our first game of the 31-32 season at Seattle. Let's go ahead and jump in and see what Trey Augustin does for us in his rookie debut. And it is a 3-0 shutout loss. I will go ahead and set the goalie start stats, and I will bring it back for November 1st. It is Saturday, November 1st. The development report looks like this. There's the prospects. And there's the NHL. Addy, agility, Jesper Anderson, puck handling, Bellabouze, screening and speed, and Zeev William, professionalism. The negatives were Connor, Fox, and Luosterainen. Best-selling jerseys in October, Johnston in 6th. Connor in 9th, Fox in 10th, and Trevor Zegras in 13th. The best players for the month of October, Ivar Stenberg for the Winnipeg Jets, and Patrick Jones-Sue. Nice goalie, 22 years old. Good goalie in St. Louis there. So we're going to go ahead and delete all those. Let's check the schedule for November. It is pretty healthy in home games, so we're going to jack this up to plus 12 on the promotions. In terms of scouting, let's set the priorities. We'll go back to Canada this year. And we'll go back to Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, and Alberta. For the tournaments, there are a couple. So let's just go across here again. So there we are, and let's look at what happened in October. We were off to a hot start. We're 9-2-0. After the shutout loss on opening night to Seattle, we beat Pittsburgh 6-1, 5-0 win against the Devils, 5-1 win against Tampa, 5-2 win against the Kings, 3-1 loss to Edmonton, 3-2 win against Vegas, 5-1 win against Dallas, 5-1 win against Montreal, 7-1 win against Minnesota, and the last game of October was a 6-0 shutout against Boston. Our stats look like this. Ivar Stenberg, 16 points, Brad Lambert, 14, and Connor with 13. First in goals against, or first in goals against, 19th in power play, and first in penalty killing, 97%. No one on the injured list and no one on waivers, so I will bring it back on December 1st. So here we are, it is Monday, December 1st. The November 1st confidence update was looking farther out. We should be a contender next year, so that is a plus with the team that I built finally, getting back into a contender status. The fans are thrilled, no need to worry. Let's look at some of these emails here. Media praises Zegras. Once again, I did emphasize the team win. The top selling jerseys of November are Connor, Fox, Johnston, Zegras, Lambert. The development report looks like that for the prospects. And here we are for the Jets players. And McDavid and Devin Levi are the players of the month in the NHL for the month of November. So we're going to go ahead and look at the schedule, see what we've got here. Not too many home games. So we're going to go drop this back down to 3%. What happened in November? We started off with a 3-2 win against St. Louis, a 4-1 win against Vegas, a 3-2 win at Colorado, 4-1 win against Washington, 4-0 win against St. Louis, 6-1 win against Anaheim, 5-2 win against Carolina, 8-2 win against the Rangers, 4-3 overtime loss, I believe, against Carolina. That was our one overtime loss there. Followed by a 4-3 win against Detroit, 3-2 win against Boston, 4-1 win against Seattle, 4-1 loss at Utah. And we ended November with a 5-2 loss against the San Jose Sharks. Our record is 24-1. Let's look at the info here. Points, Ivar Stenberg is first with 31, Lambert with 25, and Connor with 23. 19 assists for Fox, and 13 goals for Ivar Stenberg. First in goals against, first in penalty kill, and 21st in power play. 97%. 2 full months into the season for this penalty kill. So here we are, it's Thursday, January 1st. Let's have a look at the email. The owner confidence on December 1st. We're going to be a contender next year. The fans are thrilled. No need to worry. The development report looks like this for the prospects. And the NHL, Jesper Anderson shooting accuracy, Augustin leadership, Louis Carlson shooting range, Newen Schwander acceleration, and Vasily Pavlinsky glove went up by 1. Best-selling jerseys in the NHL, Connor 2nd, Wyatt Johnston 3rd, Adam Fox 6th, Zegras 11th, Lambert in 20th. The players of the month of December in the NHL, Juraj Slafkovsky and Jeremy Swayman. And it looks like the Manitoba Moose, Oliver Sundberg, was a player of the month for the month of December. He has 43 points in 30 games. He's a plus 19. Well done. So let's go ahead and check the schedule here. A lot of home games in February. So once again, we will go up to 12% on the promotions. Scouting priorities will go to Western Europe and Sweden. That looks good. Tournaments, we have 2. Let's use some of these other scouts. We'll go Sullivan and Zubski. And then if we look back at the schedule for the month of December, we started with a 4-2 win against Toronto, 4-1 win against Washington, 5-3 loss against Florida, 3-0 loss to the Islanders, 6-3 win against Colorado, 2-1 win versus Dallas, 4-0 win versus St. Louis, 3-1 loss to Calgary, 4-1 loss to Edmonton, 5-3 win against the Kings, 7-3 win against Vegas, a 2-1 loss against Dallas, and we ended on December 30th with a 5-2 win against Colorado. So let's just go ahead to February 1st. It is Sunday, February 1st. If we look back at the emails, January 1st, the owner confidence, we're a contender next year. Fans are thrilled, no need to worry. Best-selling jerseys in January, 8 Wyatt Johnston, 10 Fox, 11 Connor, and 12 Zegras. And the players of the month were McDavid and Damian Clara. And the Manitoba Moose had 2 players of the month. It was Oliver Sundberg again and Mikhail Yegorov. What are his stats? He's 24-5-0 with 6 shutouts, a 918 save percentage, and a 227 goals against. Perfect growth for him. A lot of home games again in February, so we're going to leave that at 12. Let's check the scouting. Priorities. Let's go to the rest of the world and see what happens there. Tournaments. There's a couple. We'll just go ahead here. Madden, Monakov, Papanen, and Pavarinta. Let's look at the info here. So 20 goals for Stenberg, 20 for Venberg, and 18 for Bellabuz. Assists, Ivar Stenberg with 35, Fox 33, and Connor 30. Points, 55 for Stenberg, 46 Lambert, and 43 for Connor. We are still first in goals against, first in power play at 24%, and first in penalty kill at 90%. And let's look at what happened in the month of January. We started with a 5-0 win against Toronto, 7-2 win against Ottawa, 6-4 win against Detroit, 7-4 win against Minnesota, 5-3 loss against Chicago, 4-0 loss to Colorado, 4-1 loss against Philly, 4-2 loss against San Jose, 7-1 win against Utah, 3-2 win against Chicago, 3-2 win versus Colorado, 5-2 win against Tampa, 5-1 loss against the Flyers, a 5-1 win against the New Jersey Devils, and on January 30th, the last game of the month, we lose 4-3 to the Nashville Predators. Right now, our record is 37-14-2, 76 points, and that is good enough for the top spot in the league, followed by Montreal in third with 73 and Edmonton at 70 points. I don't really think our team is good enough to hold this pace the last 3 months of the season, but let's go ahead and see. I'm going to go through with the goalie start tactics probably for the rest of the season, and I will bring it back on March 1st. So here we are. It is Wednesday, March 3rd. We just went all of February and all the way up to the trade deadline. So we're going to have a look at what happened here. There were some couple of trades. Edmonton, Carolina, Ottawa, Tampa, and Miro Heiskanen, 1,000 games played. I forgot the All-Star rosters. Who did we have? Trey Augustin was an All-Star. Adam Fox and Ivar Stenberg, 2 rookie All-Stars. Nice. And how did they do? Nothing. Let's look at C. Team Blue defeats Team Red. Trey Augustin had an 8.89, 3 goals against on 27 shots. And the best-selling jerseys in February were Kyle Connor, Johnston, Fox, Zegras, Lambert. The development report for February looks like this. There's the prospects and more prospects. And for the NHL, best-selling jerseys for the NHL, Connor in 11th, Johnston 13th, Fox 16th, and Zegras in 18th. If we keep moving up here, let's see, Leo Conejo was the player of the month for the Manitoba Moose for February. Owner confidence update. We should be a contender next year. The fans are thrilled. No need to worry. Let's go ahead and check the schedule and what happened in February. We started with a 2-1 win against the Rangers, 4-0 loss to Calgary, 8-5 win against Vancouver, 4-0 win against San Jose, 4-3 win against St. Louis, 4-3 loss to Nashville, 5-3 win against the Islanders, 1-0 overtime loss to Chicago, 5-2 win against Columbus, a 5-4 loss against Edmonton, 4-3 loss against Buffalo, 4-2 win against Minnesota, and on February 27th, the last game of the month, we lose 3-2 to Chicago. We have cooled off a little bit. Our record is 44-17-6, 94 points. And let's see what happened in March. We lose the first game 6-5 to Vancouver. So let's go ahead and have a look at the info. Goals is Stenbar and Venberg at 24. Assists, 43 for Adam Fox and Stenberg with 65 points. Lambert, 60, and Kyle Connor, 55. We are now second in goals against, 5th in power play, and still first in penalty kill at 87.4%. So I'm going to go ahead and have a look at the trade deadline and see if there's anyone we want to pick up, and I'll bring it back for the game versus Utah. So here we are. It is still Wednesday, March 3rd, and I went through the trade block. There's no one that I wanted to see, so this is going to be our team going forward for at least this year. So let's go ahead and finish the simulation. Our last game of the season, I believe, is on March 31st. If you go to April, yep. So let's go ahead and sim to the end of the season. So we are here Thursday, April 1st, and the regular season has come to an end. So let's go ahead and check the emails. The development report looks like this. There's your prospects, and Ivar Stenberg Bravery and Luosterainen Defensive Read. Best-selling jerseys for March. In 5th, you have Wyatt Johnston, 7th, Kyle Connor, 10th, Fox, and 14th, Zegras. And your players of the month are Connor Bedard and Nicholas Coco. So we're going to go ahead and delete those, and let's go ahead and check out what happened in March. So we started with the 6-5 loss to Vancouver, followed by a 4-3 win against Utah, 2-0 win against Buffalo, 2-1 win against Montreal, 6-2 win against Ottawa, 8-1 win against Florida, 2-1 loss against Anaheim, 5-2 win against Nashville, 4-1 loss against Vancouver, 4-1 win against Minnesota, 4-3 loss to Pittsburgh, 4-3 win at Nashville, 6-2 win against Seattle, 3-2 loss versus Calgary, and we ended the season with a 5-1 win against Anaheim and a 2-1 win against the LA Kings. So we will go to finances. Harmony still plus 12, and the promotions are going to be a plus 12 for the playoffs. With that being the end of the season, let's check the stats. So in terms of points, 79 and 82 for Stenberg, Brad Lambert 77, Fox 69, Kyle Connor down at 64, Venberg 58, Zegras 50, 49 Power, Anderson 47, 43, Wyatt Johnston 40, and 3 points in 11 games for Addy. Nice job. 8 for Emery. In terms of the plus minus, a plus 60 for this Hunter Brustovitz, a defenseman. Plus 60. My God. And he played all 82 games, only 35 points. Kyle Connor still leading with 11 power play goals, Power with 10 power play goals, and Lambert with 10. In terms of shooting percentage, Jesper Anderson at 25.5, Ivar Stenberg 23, Bellabuz 18, Lambert at 13, and Connor down to 11, so he's dropping off fast. Our face-off percentage, Louis Carlson 60%, Neuschwander 59%, Bellabuz 58, almost 59, Joey Anderson 58, and Ivar Stenberg at 56%. Let's go ahead and look at the defense. Hits, 158 for Lambert, 131 for Buium, 125 Connor, Fox 120. The takeaways to giveaways, Adam Fox, 89 takeaways to 19 giveaways. Alphonse Friege, 58 takeaways to 11 giveaways. Zeev Buium, 56 takeaways to 11 giveaways. Power, 56 to 10. Dionazio, 45 to 8. And Bruskovitz, 45 to 15. Shot blocks are Buium at 126, Fox with 111. And let's check the goalie stats. Trey Augustin went 47, 15, and 6 with 5 shutouts, a 916 save percentage, and a 2.2 goals against. Pavlinski went 8, 5, and 1 with 3 shutouts, a 903, and a 235 goals against. What a well-rounded team. Let's check our... We did not check the info. Here we go. So goals, Lambert, 29, Stenberg, 29, Venberg, 29. Assist, Adam Fox, 58, Stenberg, 50, Lambert, 48. Points, we already looked at that. We were second in goals, tied for first in goals against, fifth in power play, and first in penalty killing at 87%. Now we can look at the Harmony. Yes, we already broke up the click. Job security up to 100 with that season. So let's have a look at the league, what happened here. We tied with Boston at 117 points. Oh, the league still has more games. I did not know that. Well, I just wrapped up our season, so I guess let's go ahead to the playoffs on next week. The Hart nominees to Jack Hughes, Bedard, and McDavid. Vezina. How are we not in it for the Vezina? Damian Clark, Jeremy Swayman, and Nicholas Coco. We were first in wins, first in goals against. How are we not there for the Vezina? The Norris Makar, Luca Cagnoni, and Ferraro. The Calder, Oscar Venberg, Jonah Tannhauser, and Xylis Gabriel. Executive of the Year, me, Jeff Greenberg, and Scott Nickel. The Selkie, Itu Lusterisland, Riley Grieg, and Xavier Bourgault. He's in the running for the Selkie like 3 or 4 years in a row. Lady Bing, Liam Ogren, Kevin Lunn, and Shane Wright. Mark Messier, Nikita Aradimov, Nolan Fitzhenry, and Cameron Schmidt. The Ted Lindsay, Jack Hughes, Bedard, and McDavid. The Jack Adams, me, Wayne Salerno, and Brooks Orpik. And there you have it. Now, with his stats, let's look at the goalie stats again. He went 47, 15, and 6 with 5 shutouts, a 9-16, and a 220 goals against. 47 wins in 68 games. 5 shutouts, first in wins, first in goals against, and he's not even nominated for a Vezina or a Calder. What are you supposed to do? He was a rookie this year, played 68 games with those stats, not in the Vezina contention or the Calder. I want the Stanley Cup this year. We have a team to do it. We ended the year 55, 20, and 7. So let's look at the playoff tree. You can see our first round opponent is Seattle. So we will end it here with the playoff tree. Round number 1 in the West, we have Seattle against Winnipeg, Colorado at St. Louis, Calgary at Anaheim, Edmonton at Vancouver. In the East, Florida at Boston, Buffalo at Montreal, Ottawa at Washington, and Philly at Carolina. Let's have a look at the Manitoba Moose this year. They went 42, 17, and 7, 91 points. Anyone injured? None of my players. So let's have a quick look at their stats and see what happened. Here we go. Oliver Sundberg, 90 points in 66 games. Leo Roos, 74. Canerho, 58. Penkin, 57. Diner, 47. Perfect. Plus 43 for Gronewald and Roos, 41, 37. Power play goals, 10 for Sundberg. Let's look at shooting percentage. Sundberg and Canerho, 15 and 14%. What about the defense? Hits 124 for Thielander. Takeaways to giveaways. Leon Roos, 43 takeaways, 17 giveaways. That's about the biggest gap here. Good for him. Shot blocks, 118 for Hayes, 101 for Engberg. And let's look at the goalies. Mikhail Yegorov went 10, 5, and 0, no shutouts, a 904, and a 219 goals against. Mikhail Yegorov went 32, 12, and 7 with 7 shutouts, a 912, and a 239. And the backup, Hampton Slakinski, went 10, 5, and 0, no shutouts, a 904, and a 219. So with that, we'll look back at the Jets, and I will see you in the next one for your Year 8 Stanley Cup playoffs. It's Thursday, April 8th. We're going to go ahead and sim up to game number 1 of the playoffs against the Seattle Kraken. So here we are. This is our team. No one is injured. No one's on waivers. Let's have a look at the Seattle Kraken and see how they got there. Their goalie is Nicholas Kakko. What a goalie. And their backup is just as good. Who else do they have here? They have Timothy Liljegren, Colby Barlow, Noah Osterland, Samuel Hellenish, Shane Wright, and I don't really recognize too many other teams. Who's this guy? Michael Zoke. Not too bad. Do they have any injuries? They do. Vince Dunn, that's a huge blow for them, and Viggo Gustafsson. So they do have some injuries and a couple players day to day. And let's go ahead and look at the info at how they did. Their leading point scorer was Shane Wright with 86 points, Daniil Pavlenin 77, and Colby Barlow with 66. They were 15th in goals, 12th in goals against, 20th in power play, 13th in penalty kill. And they went 43, 34, and 5, 91 points. Not a bad season for them, pretty solid. So let's go back to the Winnipeg Jets. And we are at home. We do have the harmony issue, but most of our players are happy. So let's go ahead and sim game number 1 in Winnipeg. And we win 6-0. Trey Augustin, way to start the playoffs. Kyle Connor, Luosterainen, Stenberg, Lambert, Johnston, and Jesper Anderson. 2 goals in each period. Perfect. Bellabou's injured day-to-day. That's fine. We have the players now. Actually, day-to-day, you're going to play through the playoffs, buddy. Or play through the injury, I'm sorry. So let's go ahead and sim to game number 2. And here we are back in Winnipeg for game number 2 after a big 6-0 win in game number 1. Trey Augustin's on fire. Let's sim game number 2. And we win 5-2. Brinley, Zegras, Neuenschwander, Power, and Zegras again. So we have a 2-0 lead over the Seattle Kraken. So let's go ahead and sim to game number 3. And I apologize, I do have a bit of a cold, so my voice is kind of week right now, but we're going to forge ahead through these playoffs. I'm feeling pretty good about it. So game number 3, who's going to win? And we win again 6-0. So it was Oscar Venberg, Lambert, Zegras, Stenberg, and Bruskovitz, and Rodwin Dianazio on the power play. So we are up 3-0 over Seattle with 2 6-0 shutouts in 3 games. Let's go ahead and sweep them right here in the next game at Seattle. And we're back here for game number 4 at Seattle. Let's go ahead and sim and see what happens. We beat them 3-1, so that is a 4-game sweep of the Seattle Kraken in round number 1. In the second period, Hunter Bruskovitz. In the third period, Brad Lambert with 2 goals. Nice. Delayed treatment for Dianazio, bicep strain. No, we actually will switch you out because that's a big injury. So we don't want to lose you for a couple months going into next year. So we will put Emery in, who is a solid defensive defenseman for us. And he does have time to get better because that was a 4-game sweep of the Seattle Kraken in round number 1. So we're going to go ahead and sim to the next round of the playoffs. And we're back here for round number 2, and our opponent is the St. Louis Blues. Before we look at them, let's have a look at the playoff tree. In round number 1, Winnipeg sweeps Seattle, St. Louis beats Colorado 4-2, the Ducks beat Calgary 4-1, and the Vancouver Canucks beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-2. In the East, Boston beats Florida 4-2, Buffalo beats Montreal 4-3, Ottawa beats Washington 4-1, and the Carolina Hurricanes beat the Flyers 4-2. Let's go ahead and have a look at the St. Louis Blues. Their goalie is Patrick Jones-Sue. Pretty decent goalie. They're only 23 years old. Good for them. They have Arkan Van de Velde, Pisani, and Yerrick, and Bibeau as their defensemen. They still have Jake Neighbors, Ridley Grieg. Who else? Jordan Kyrou and Robert Thomas. Who's this new player? Lucas Peterson. Good for them. Any injuries? Zach Dean, 3 to 4 months. So they do have 1 injury, but they are a pretty solid team. Let's look at the info. Their leading point score was Robert Thomas with 84, Jake Neighbors 69, and Yerrick 62. They were 12th in goals, 3rd in goals against, 21st in power play, and 3rd in the penalty kills. And they went 49, 28, and 5, 103 points. So that is our second round opponent. And with that, Trey Augustin is on fire. Dianazio can't come into play, but we're going to leave him out just in case. And let's go ahead and sim game number 1 at home in Winnipeg. And we win 1-0. Alphonse Friesen II. Fantastic way to start this series. 1-0 win against St. Louis. And we're here for game number 2, so let's go ahead and sim again. What's going to happen? 6-3 win against St. Louis. 4 goals in the second period. Emery, Johnston, Stenberg, Luosterainen, Brad Lambert, and Wyatt Johnston. We're up 2-0, so let's go ahead to the game number 3. And here we are for game number 3 in St. Louis. And we lose that one 6-2. We gave up 3 goals in the second period. That's alright. That's going to happen, so let's go ahead to May 1st. So here we are on Saturday, May 1st. We're here at game number 4. It is Sunday, May 2nd. We will select our Hall of Fame nominee. Go with Brad McCrimmon. And we're going to go ahead and delete those. And let's see, is our goalie Trey Gustin still on fire? Yes, he is. So game number 4, and it's a 4-0 shutout win for the Winnipeg Jets. So we will go ahead to May 3rd. It is a decisive game. I forget, game number 5, I believe, at home in Winnipeg after a 4-0 shutout win in game number 4. So let's go ahead and sim, and hopefully we take care of business right here. And we do another shutout, 3-0 shutout in this deciding game. Wyatt Johnston, and Brad Lambert. 1 goal in each period. And we have just dispatched your St. Louis Blues with a 3-0 win and a 4-0 win. And as you can see, that playoff round has ended, so let's look at the playoff tree. The second round of the playoffs, the Winnipeg Jets beat the St. Louis Blues 4-1. The Anaheim Ducks beat the Vancouver Canucks 4-3. In the East, Boston beats Buffalo 4-1, and Carolina beats Ottawa 4-2. So in your Western Conference Finals, it is the 2 number 1 seeds, Anaheim at Winnipeg. And in the Eastern Conference Finals, you have number 2 Carolina at number 1 Boston. So let's go ahead and sim to our first game. So here we are. It's Thursday, May 13th against Anaheim. Let's go ahead and see how the Anaheim Ducks got there. Damian Clara is their goalie. They do have Mikhail Sergachev, this Sasha Boudamdian, good defenseman for them. They have Pickles, Alex Vlasic, Sam Rinzel, former Winnipeg Jet, John Beecher, former Winnipeg Jet, I believe. They have Jack Quinn, James Malatesta, Cutter Gauthier, Marco Rossi, Barrett Hayton, Jacob Perreault, Alexander Holtz, Sam Colangelo, and who's this player? Brett Olson. So a pretty balanced and well-rounded team. In terms of injuries, they are clean. Let's go to the info. Their leading point scorer was Jacob Perreault with 98 points, Cutter Gauthier with 74, and Jack Quinn with 65. They were 8th in goals, 7th in goals against, 17th in power play, and 25th in penalty kill. Now they went 50, 27, and 5. Certainly more offensive than defensive. So it's going to be a battle to see who comes out of the Western Conference Finals. And Dionazio is fully healed, so Emery, thank you for filling in. You did quite well for us. Dionazio is the starter, however. So let's go to game number 1 in Winnipeg and see who wins the battle of the hot goalies. It is 3-1 Winnipeg in game number 1. Let's go to game number 2. We're here at game number 2, and again, let's see who wins the battle of the hot goalies. And Anaheim wins this one in overtime. Alphonse Frisch had our goal, and Marco Rossi scores in overtime to give Anaheim a 2-1 win and even up the series 1-1. Let's go to game 3. And here we are in Anaheim at the Honda Center. Let's go ahead and see who's going to win this one. And the Winnipeg Jets win 6-2. Let's go to game number 4. Here we are for game number 4 at the Honda Center in Anaheim. Let's see who wins the battle of the goalies. And Anaheim wins, so this is a back-and-forth series. It is tied 2-2. And we are back for game number 5 in Winnipeg. Come on, Trey Augustin, you got this. 7-4 loss, that's not good. Do we make a change? I don't know. Media criticizes Lambert. 100% no. So we are down 3-2. Let's go to game 6. At least make the Stanley Cup Finals with this team. Come on, this is game number 6 back at the Honda Center. Come on, Trey Augustin. And we lose 3-0. Again, this team falls short. It was 3 goals in the first... Wait, was it 3? No, it was 1 in the second. Where was it? Here we go. Marco Rossi and then Beecher and Mikhail Sergachev And with that, your season comes to an end with a 4-2 loss to the Anaheim Ducks in the Western Conference Finals. So we're going to go ahead and sim. So the only thing left to do now is see how the Manitoba Moose are doing. And the playoff round is over. So let's check that quick. In the Western Conference Finals, the Anaheim Ducks beat the Winnipeg Jets 4-2. In the Eastern Conference Finals, Carolina beats Boston 4-1. So your top 2 teams are beat out in the conference finals. Anaheim was the 3rd best team in the league, and Carolina was the 14th best team in the league. So good luck to those teams. But our playoff run is over, so let's go ahead and check the Manitoba Moose, see how they're doing. And they went 43-20-9, first in the Central Division. That's fantastic. Are we still playing? Oh, looks like we're going to have a good win here. 3-1, 7-0, 4-1. Fantastic. Let's look at the playoffs for the AHL. And there you go. Manitoba, where were they at? Let's see. Manitoba got a first round bye. They beat Iowa 3-1. They beat Rockford 3-0. And they are up 3-0 against Kowa for a chance to go to the finals. Let's go day by day and see what happens. And we sweep them 4-0. Fantastic. And the Manitoba Moose should be off to the finals. Hopefully they can do again what your Winnipeg Jets could not. So we're going to go ahead and go day by day here until we see who wins the next series. And it is, I think, was that Providence, I believe? So let's go and check the playoffs. In the finals, it is the Manitoba Moose against the Providence Bruins. Wow, both teams of the best 2 teams in the NHL are in the finals of the AHL. Good for them. So we're going to go ahead and go to the 31st. Manitoba's up 1-0. Series tied 1-1. And it is Monday, May 31st. We're going to go ahead to June 1st. It is Tuesday, June 1st. Your best-selling jerseys were Johnston Fox, Connor Zegras, Lambert. Your development report looks like this for the prospects. There is more prospects. And for the NHL, Anderson Screening and Emery Offensive Read went up. Best-selling jerseys for May, 13 is Wyatt Johnston, 14 Fox, 15 Connor, and Zegras in 18th. Let's go back to the Manitoba Moose. And where's their schedule? These 2 games, let's go ahead a week and see what happens. Manitoba's up 2-1. A new click forms. Fantastic. Don't care about that. And the Hall of Fame vote. Let's go Jonathan Quick. Deserves it. Who did we even nominate? Patrick Kane, Geno Malkin, and Chris Letang. That's got to be it. Jonathan Quick, Geno Malkin, Patrick Kane, Showtime Kane, and Chris Letang. So let's go ahead and keep going for the Manitoba Moose. Manitoba's up 3-1, 3-2. Come on, Manitoba. Win this championship. Get 2 in 8 years. You got it. The Carolina Hurricanes. Okay, so the NHL Stanley Cup Finals are done, and your 31-32 Stanley Cup champions are the Carolina Hurricanes. They went 4-2 against the Flyers, 4-2 against Ottawa, 4-1 against Boston, and in Game 7 they beat the Anaheim Ducks. It's their 2nd championship, their first one since 2006. And the winning goal was scored by Andrei Svechnikov. Sounds about right. Hopefully that was like a Game 7 overtime winner. But congratulations to the Carolina Hurricanes, your 2032 Stanley Cup champions. And let's go back to the Manitoba Moose. Did they win yet? No, they're up 3-2, so I don't care about the NHL right now. We got to follow the Moose. Let's go to the next day. And your Manitoba Moose win the championship. That is huge. Their 2nd championship they just won. Fantastic. Let's look at these stats. Who was anyone injured? Bookman, don't care. Let's look at the playoff stats for this team. Regular season playoffs. Yep, there it is. Oliver Sundberg, 26 points in 17 games. Canerho, 20 and 17. And Leon Roos, 20 and 17. Diner, 14 and 17. 8 and 17 for Thielander. 8 and 17 for Penkin. Plus 15 for Engberg. Diner plus 13. Penkin plus 12. Plus 10 for Sundberg and Luce. Any power play goals? 4 for Sundberg. 4 for Roos. Let's check the defensive stats. 30 hits in 17 games for Diner, 29 for Thielander. He is most certainly that power forward. Only 21 years old. Good. 27 for Roos, Penkin 26, takeaways to giveaways. 12 to 6, takeaways to giveaways, Penkin, Leon Roos. 11 to 6, Engberg, 10 to 9, and 9 to 7 for Canerho. Let's see what the goalies did for the playoffs. There we go. Mikhail Yegorov in 17 games went 14-3-0 with 3 shutouts, a .945 save percent, and a .124 goals against. Perfect playoff run for your Manitoba Moose. Their second championship, they won in 25-26 and 31-32. Congratulations to them. And before we go forward, let's check out the Stanley Cup Finals. The playoffs, yep. Carolina Hurricanes 4-3 over the Anaheim Ducks. Let's have a look at their team and see how they got there. With these two goalies, they went 43, 33, and 6 and won the Stanley Cup with a 1.5-star goalie and a 2-star goalie. Outside of that, they have Nishkin. Don't really recognize anyone there. Andrei Svechnikov, Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Sebastian Aho, Emil Hemming, Seth Jarvis. They do have a well-rounded team, though. Who is this Nelson? Sammy Nelson. And who's this? Tristan Robbins. Not too bad. So they do have a well-rounded team. Let's look at their info. Their leading point scorer was 94 points. Andrei Svechnikov. Aho with 83. And Seth Jarvis with 59. They were 18th in goals, 11th in goals against, 11th in power play, and 9th in penalty kill. So congratulations once again to your Stanley Cup champions, the Carolina Hurricanes. So that is the end of your 2032 NHL season, and I will leave it there, and we'll pick it up in the next one for going ahead in the offseason. We unfortunately missed out on another Stanley Cup with a fantastic team. Jets fans, we're back and it's Wednesday, July 23rd. I have gone through and re-signed the players that I want. If we go to the cap obligations, the only player we're not bringing back is Nicholas Addy. So this is our team going forward for next season. We pretty much retained everyone we wanted. I have simmed to the awards ceremony and the off-season signing window. So let's go ahead and jump right into the awards. Your Jennings Trophy goes to the rookie Trey Augustin. Great job by him this year. The Mark Messier to Nikita Aradimov, the Bill Masterton, Yegor Chinnikov, the Lady Bing, Shane Wright. The Maurice Richard to Connor McDavid, the Art Ross McDavid, and the Ted Lindsay Connor McDavid. In terms of the Hart Trophy, it is Jack Hughes, Bedard, McDavid. It is Connor McDavid again, the Conn Smythe to Andrei Svechnikov, 28 points, 24 games, plus 7. The Calder goes to Oscar Venberg, nice. And the Norris goes to Mario Ferraro. Is that 2 Norris trophies? Yes, 2 Norris trophies for Mario Ferraro. The Selke goes to Eetu Luosterainen, who we actually will not be re-signing this year. So congratulations to him, but you are replaced and off the team. The Vezina goes to Nicholas Coco, the Executive of the Year, to Jeff Greenberg in Boston, and the Jack Adams to Wayne Salerno in Boston. So if we go back and look at the 2032 NHL All-Stars, Adam Fox was the second team defenseman, and the All-Rookie team, Oscar Venberg. I did make some trades, so we traded Oliver Sundberg and Rodman Giannazzo to Washington for a first round pick in this year's draft and a 4th round pick in next year's draft. Another trade was Max Penkin to Washington for a 1st round pick in next year's draft. And our third trade, I traded Jonah Neuenschwander to Dallas for a 1st round pick in this year's draft. So now we can go ahead and delete those. The rookies, I have signed Jesslyn Malhotra. He will be a 4th line left winger on the NHL squad right there, and he will be one of our main penalty killers. So with that, let us go ahead and just sim to the end of the season. So here we are. It is Wednesday, June 30th, and this is the season score for me. We reached the playoffs. We had a winning season, a 600 or better, and we did finish first. So our total score was 32, and our longevity bonus is 7. So we have 6 points. We'll put 1 into negotiating. We'll do 1 in coaching defense, forwards, in-game tactics. And let's go back to coaching prospects because we are a very, and we'll actually go to coaching goalies as well because we are very young in both offense, defense, and goaltenders. So we'll continue. And these are all of the 1-year scouts I signed last year. We will not be re-signing them. So I'm going to delete those emails. And let's go to the new season. It is Thursday, July 1st, day 1 of the year number 9. So the best-selling jerseys are Bella Boo's number 1, Wyatt Johnston, Fox, Connor, and Zegras. So we do have Mikko Rantanen retires, Rupe Hintz retires, Jack Gensel retires, Provorov retires, Jake DeBrusk. And there it is, Kyle Connor ends his playing career. He retired. He spent his entire career with the Winnipeg Jets. We're going to go back and have a look at Kyle Connor here when we delete these emails. Best-selling jerseys for June, Bella Boo's number 18. Looks like Winnipeg retires Connor Hellebuck's number. Why? That's kind of pointless. And we didn't retire. There we go. Winnipeg officially retires Kyle Connor's number. So that's good. The number 35. It should have been him over Connor Hellebuck, but that's just my opinion. And if we keep going up, the owner confidence update, we expect to be a contender next year. So if we can find a good veteran to add in the offseason, please do it. The fans are very pleased. No need to worry about my job. And let's look at Kyle Connor's history. First in goals, or first in points, first in goals, second in assists. He was a 2-time Maurice Richard Trophy, won the Lady Byng, a multiple-time All-Star, and his number was retired. If we look at his bio, his nickname is officially Mr. Winnipeg Jet, Kyle Connor. He had 3 100-point seasons in the last, 6 or 7 years. He was the 2-time scoring champion. He spent his entire career with the Winnipeg Jets, probably the only member of the franchise, or probably the second or third member of the franchise to spend their whole career here. And he deserves that nickname. He put this team on his shoulders and carried us for a couple years there while we were trying to fight through the transition between the old players and the new players. And he was that veteran presence and leader for us, the captain. So that is a well-deserved jersey retirement and a new nickname, Mr. Winnipeg Jet, Kyle Connor. Our new goalie coach is Dmitry Ekvist, and our defensive coach, we had to re-sign William Nicholson as he was the best coach available. And we're going to go ahead to scouting and hire scouts and see who's available. So this is our new scouting department. And let's go check the roster. There we go. No tournaments. Yep. So this guy we do not want on the team. He's going to go back to the AHL and help them out. So our salary is at 66.5. The salary floor is 71. So we will have to make some changes. So we do have a lot of money to spend on a second line left wing. So let's go ahead and see who we have in free agency. There's no one very good in this year's free agency, so I'm glad we re-signed and got the players that we did. We could actually sign him for more because we're going to have some room. So, with that, let's just go ahead and sim to the draft lottery. So our finances are still good. Let's look at the harmony and see. We don't have a captain yet. Who is going to be the captain of this team? Adam Fox? Yeah, Adam Fox is going to be the new captain. He's been here a while. He understands what we're doing. Adam Fox is the new captain. Brad Lambert. Who else has been here? Brad Lambert is going to now be the first alternate. Let's go with Owen Power as the second alternate. He's going to be here for a while, so there we go. There are your new captains, Adam Fox. So let's go back to the harmony and see if we can intervene here. And the click breaks up. Excellent. So that will help our harmony. So our budget is at 95.5 million. We raised development, normal marketing, and normal maintenance. We are still not raising. Our current ticket price is $101. We are not going to raise it because we have yet to win that Stanley Cup. So let's go ahead and sim to the draft lottery. So here we are at the draft lottery. We are sitting in number 11. That was the Dallas Stars first round pick that we traded for right after the finals were done. So let's go ahead and see. Carolina in 16th, Kings in 15th, Tampa in 14th, New Jersey in 13th, Chicago in 12th, and do we stay at 11th? We do. Predators 10th, Red Wings 9th, and we have movement. Columbus goes back from 7th to 8th, Toronto goes 6 to 7, Tampa goes 5 to 6, Minnesota goes 4 to 5, Pittsburgh goes 3 to 4, Vegas goes from 1st back to 3rd, and it should be the Rangers. No, Utah goes from 8th up to 2nd, and the Rangers go from 2nd up to 1st. So let's go ahead and see the draft picks we have. We are in 11th, 28th, 29th, and 61st. So not too bad. Maybe we could make a trade at the draft itself. So we're just going to go ahead and sim to the draft now, and here we are. There's a couple trades there, nothing major, so we're just going to delete those and check and make sure we are still the best contract. We are. So let's go to the draft. And it looks like the best overall player is Howell. Not the best, but he's only a 3-star potential, 1.5 ability. If we go by potential goalies, we are set at goalie. We don't need any of them. So the best position player available is Bill Powell. Is there a mock draft? Where's Bill Powell going? Because he might be the one we want to take. Let's see. So we were in here. It doesn't have ours, but is Bill Powell not? Well, we're Bill Powell 15th, so we should be able to get Powell. But let's just go next pick and see. Okay, there you go. Bill Powell goes number 1 overall. Never mind. So with that, I'm just going to pick until human, and we'll see what happens. So first overall was Bill Powell, followed by James Walsh, then Hugendorn, Harding, Veach, Derecchio, Wilson, O'Rourke, Howell, and St. Ange. So with our pick, it looks like another defenseman, Richard Mercer. Pretty good there. Pretty solid defensive player. 18 years old. So we are going to select Richard Mercer with the 11th overall pick. And we're going to just go ahead and pick until human again. And it looks like all of those goalies came off the board. Here we are. Peter Medic. No, thank you. Who's this one? Morgan. Definitely, there it is, Jeff Morgan. So with the 28th overall pick in this year's draft, the Jets will select Jeff Morgan. And now it's our turn again. Who's this player? Quentin Dukes. There we go, pretty good, solid defenseman. Scouting, his playmaking is the strongest. You're the best player. So with the 29th pick in the draft, the Winnipeg Jets will select Quentin Dukes. And here we are back at the 61st pick in the draft, Andrei Upashev. maybe. Who's the tallest kid in the draft? Unscouted defenseman, 20 years old, Oscar Gibson, 6'9", 228. We're going to take him 61st overall. And here we are back at the 93rd pick in the draft. We're going to take the Naomichi Nakatani from Japan, 18 years old. Welcome to the Winnipeg Jets. Who's this guy? 17 years old. O'Flanley. Pretty good. Defenseman. His defensive play is the best. Alright. Ed O'Flanley. Welcome to the Winnipeg Jets. Any 125th pick? Who's this? No, Michael Krivenik. Paul Luke. There we go. Paul Luke. With the 125th pick, the Winnipeg Jets will select Paul Luke. And we're just going to go ahead and have the computer sim the rest. Not too much there. We got like 2 good players in that draft, but we'll see who they say has the best. Who is this? Bowman? No. Niels. And who's this? Krennic. Nope. So, in the 2032 NHL draft has come to an end. Bill Powell was selected first overall. The best drafts go to the Stars, Senators, and Ducks. The worst drafts are the Predators, Lightning, and Bruins. So they are still the best contract for Matthew Cataford. We're just going to go ahead and sim to August 1st. And it is the next day, July 7th. We have a new achievement. Drafted Japanese player in the NHL draft. Tsuchimoto. Well, thank you very much for that. And Matthew Cataford signs his new contract. Second line right winger. Players need... He wants number 10? No. You can have number 30. Make that a number for the Hall of Fame one day. Owner goal failed? Yeah, I don't care. So, there we are. That is our 20-man roster. Where are you? Matthew Cataford. There you go. And it should be pretty good, hopefully. I think it's pretty much the same team. So, we're just going to finish out the month of July. So, here we are. It's Saturday, July 31st. We do have a couple trades here. Nothing special. Patrick Laine is still around, 34 years old. Should we bring him back to Winnipeg? Alright, let's go ahead and delete those, and let's go to August 1st. And here we are. Matthew Cataford, Fox, Augustin, Zegras, and Johnston are your best-selling Winnipeg Jets jerseys for July. The development report, Naomichi Nakatani shooting accuracy already went up by 1. Nice. Up to a 12. And the best-selling jerseys in the NHL, Cataford 3, Fox 7, Augustin 10, Zegras 15, and Johnston in 20th. Let's go to the Hall of Fame. I don't even remember who we nominated. But your first member of the Hall of Fame, Jonathan Quick. Congratulations, you deserve that. Followed by Patrick Showtime Kane, you deserve that as well. Followed by Geno Malkin, 3-time Stanley Cup champion, you deserve that. And lastly, Brad McCrimmon, he was our nominee, I remember. So that is your class of 2032. Congratulations to them. So we are here Saturday, August 14th at the Prospects Tournament. Let's go ahead and see who we can get on this team. Alright, so let's look at the roster. Your goalies are right here. Not too bad. The defensemen, a couple Winnipeg Jet players, and your forwards. There's a couple Winnipeg Jet players in there, but let's go ahead and sim to September 1st, and then we will come back and look at the contract signings and the prospect tournament. So here we are, it's Tuesday, August 31st, and we did sign Robbie McCann, we did sign Steve Merritt, and we did sign Finley Chung. And let's go ahead and just look at what happened. We lose Game 1 at Chicago 2-1, a 4-2 win against Colorado, 3-2 loss against St. Louis, and a 4-0 win against Nashville. So let's go ahead to September 1st. And we will set the budget, assign scouts, and hopefully go to the preseason. And your best-selling jerseys in August are Fox, Augustin, Zegras, Johnston, and Lambert. Development report, NHL best-selling jerseys, Fox in 4th, Augustin 6th, Zegras 13th, and Johnston in 16th. So with that, let us go ahead to the preseason on September 5th. Alright, We are on September 5th, game 1 of the preseason. We are back Sunday, September 5th for the first game of the preseason at Nashville. Here are your goalie starting stats. I have finished all of the lines, and we have not brought anyone up. This is our team so far. There's no one on waivers, so let's go ahead and sim 2 waivers on September 16th. So here we are, it's Thursday, September 16th. The training camp report looks like that for your prospects. There's more prospects and more prospects. Now the NHL. Bellaboo's Bravery +1. Malhotra getting open, puck handling, positioning, and stick checking. Nice. Jeslin Malhotra positioning and stick checking. 17 and 16. Great. As a rookie, he's going to be a very important penalty killer for us. Steven Merritt getting open and hitting. Vasily Pavlinsky, his skating went up by 1. Where's that? Skating up to a 16. Nice. Let's look at the rest of the NHL players. Leon Roos, stick checking. Ivar Stenberg, team player, and Cohen Williams, passing and stick checking. Stick checking up to a 17. Nice. And his passing's a 19. Wonderful. The season preview. We are going to be a contender, it says, but no other awards, so not too bad. And this is our team going into year number 9. So let's go ahead to opening night. With that, we are on opening night of year number 9. This is our team, and I will leave it there, and I'll see you in the next one.